I guess Bart's Bike encapsulates kind of the last 2 years of our life as a band. It doesn't just round off How to Stay Shining, it kind of rounds off everything from Flower Through Concrete up till now. And it's meant to be a celebration and I guess kind of nostalgic.
Bart's Bike to me is a homage and a love letter to everyone we met and all the experiences we've been so lucky to have over the last few years. From our first tour in 2021 all the way through to now, all the stuff we've learned and all the people we've met and all the things we've been able to do.
Bart, from the title Bart's Bike, is the front person for the band Graduating Life. When we stopped in New Jersey on our first US tour, we took Bart's Bike out of the van and we just rode around for ages in a car park. It was a sunny day, it was still kind of chilly, and we were just riding around Bart's Bike. Bart was very generous to let us ride his bike for so long. I walked to Starbucks with Kiki. He tells me about his old band. As he drives us to span the Atlantic, I rest my head on a vodka-soaked mattress. Kiki was the tour manager for our first ever US tour. He was driving us around. At one point I walked to Starbucks with Kiki and he told me about his old band. The tour was almost over and it had been such a wonderful experience and so kind of frightening at the same time because it was so grand and big and new for us. Eric says, if we bought Jake a car, you're gonna buy him a house. That is an actual quote from Eric of the band Mom Jeans, and Grad Life referring to our label manager at the time, Jake, at Counterintuitive Records. The idea being that hopefully one day our band and our music will be so successful that we're able to get Jake a house, which is very sweet because Jake is lovely, and if we could buy him a house, we would buy him a house right now.
Meet me in a time of harmony. So the first line of the chorus is a reference to a painting by Paul Signac. I think that when you're on the road and you're touring, it's such a strange world because you're so detached from real life. That can be stressful and it can be disorientating, but it can also have these beautiful moments where you're aligning with these people who you're effectively living with on the road for a couple weeks, 2 months, whatever it is. And you have these amazing moments of this feeling of sublime freedom. And so that's why I wanted to put that in there. Blast saxophone at 3 a.m, find heaven sent in Brooklyn streets. We send each other DVDs and store memories in stolen things. Those lines are just these really core memories that I've had with certain people. So in Brooklyn, in New York, I love the saxophone, I love jazz. Me and Josh from a band called Crybaby, I was telling the whole tour I really wanted to learn saxophone. So one day when we were in New York, we went down to the van and it was 3 a.m. and he was teaching me how to play saxophone whilst we were talking about what art and music meant to us. Another person I met was Brooke from Chase Petra. I found out that Brooke had never watched any of Simon Pegg's Cornetto trilogy, and so I ordered all 3 of them, to Brooke's house. And then since then, when we went back out to America with No Offense, Brooke asked me if I'd seen a couple of her favorite films, and then she sent me those DVDs. And what's so lovely about touring is you get these moments of sharing your lives with these people and sharing kind of joy and fun like that.
In a home displaced from everything you cherished, was it worth it to fall asleep in a state and wake up in the same state of panic? So at the end of our first US tour, we drove straight back from Denver to California, which is roughly 22 hour drive. Slept overnight. When I woke up, I was really ill and we had just passed through Salt Lake City. And it's really, really unsettling to fall asleep on the bench of a van and then wake up and realize that you still have half of America to get past before you can even think about going home. It's really hard to describe. It's flipping terrifying.
When Scott bowed out singing Comatose, tattooed those lines upon my bones, let's go out sometime, it's so nice outside, these people are my home. The one band it talks about is Def Pony. This year, 2023, Def Pony have gone on an indefinite hiatus. But they're our closest friends. We've been playing shows with them since before we were in Bears and Trees, since before they were in Def Pony. I think one of Bears and Trees' first ever shows was set up by the people of Def Pony. We were really lucky to have all these experiences and we were able to share that with all the people we love. And it's so strange knowing that Def Pony has ended, at least for now. Yeah, it's kind of heartbreaking to have all these great experiences, meet all these new musicians and your day ones who are still there and still around you and still love you and support you, that era kind of ending is quite difficult. It's so nice to actually make a song, to release something that is a real stake in the ground. This is where we've been, this is what we've done within the context of Bears and Trees. We talk about our own personal emotional journeys and the experiences we have with people and our lives and ourselves in our music, but rarely do we get the opportunity to kind of reflect on what it's been like in Bears and Trees and the opportunities that everyone who supports us has allowed us to have. And hopefully it gives you the same nostalgia and the same energy, remembering all the shows that you've seen us at, makes you think about the times that you've had in relation to those songs as well.
That's that.
Cut!